The declaration was broadcast on every known frequency, translated instantly into over 6,000 languages. Across the galaxy, screens filled with the same symbol, a radiant golden sigil shaped like a crowned star, the mark of the Galactic Empire. For 30 millennia, the herald announced, voice echoing with artificial authority, the Empire has preserved order, stability, and peace. Today, that order is threatened. The symbol pulsed. The species known as humanity has demonstrated uncontrolled expansion, unpredictable military doctrine, and ideological resistance to imperial governance. By decree of the Eternal Throne, total war is hereby declared. Humanity will submit, or be erased. Silence followed. Then panic. The Galactic Empire did not make threats. It made conclusions. Entire civilizations had vanished after similar announcements, reduced to archaeological footnotes and cautionary tales whispered in academic halls. Humanity was young, loud, aggressive, innovative, and, by every imperial metric, doomed. All across known space, reactions were swift and grim. Trade guilds severed contract with human systems. Neutral worlds closed their borders. Even long-time allies quietly distanced themselves, unwilling to draw imperial attention. On the crystal world of Elis Prime, a historian murmured, they should have knelt. On the iron moons of the Ka, war priests began carving human names into stone, rituals reserved for the dead. Everyone knew what came next. Everyone except the humans. On Earth, deep beneath reinforced bedrock, the Unified Defense Command gathered. The Imperial Declaration replayed across a massive holoscreen. The final words faded. The room remained silent for 3 seconds. Then, laughter. Not nervous laughter. Not hysteria. Real laughter. General Marcus Hale leaned back in his chair, shaking his head. Admiral Yuki Soto laughed openly, wiping tears from her eyes. Around the table, veteran commanders exchanged knowing looks, some smiling, some amused. Well, Hale said at last, guess it finally happened. Soto nodded. I was wondering how long they'd keep pretending we weren't a problem. A junior officer froze. Sirs, with respect, the Galactic Empire has annihilated species older than our civilization. They control fleets beyond counting. Shouldn't we be concerned? Hale stood and stepped toward the holomap. With a gesture, it shifted, revealing hundreds of red mark systems. Concerned, he repeated calmly. Son, we've been preparing for this since before we had faster-than-light travel. He smiled, thin and dangerous. They think they are declaring war on a civilization. The map zoomed in on Earth. They are declaring war on a species that survived itself. Humanity had never known peace. Before reaching the stars, humans fought their planet, their environment, their diseases, and each other. They evolved in chaos, thrived in instability, and learned early that survival favored the adaptable, not the perfect. Other species developed in harmony. Humans developed under pressure. When humanity reached the stars, they brought that mindset with them. Their ships were ugly but modular. Their weapons were over-engineered and redundant. Their military doctrine wasn't based on tradition, but on contingency. If a plan failed, humans didn't panic. They tried something worse. The Empire studied human industry and diplomacy and assumed they understood them. They didn't. They mistook creativity for disorder. They mistook flexibility for weakness. They mistook restraint for fear. The Empire struck first. 3 massive armadas surged into human-controlled space, faster than expected, harder than predicted. Outer colonies burned. Defense platforms shattered under focused Imperial firepower. Imperial reports were confident. Human resistance is intense but inefficient. They lack unity of command. Loss rates favor Imperial forces. But something about the data unsettled analysts. Every human defeat cost the Empire more than projected. Human ships refused clean retreats. They fought until reactors failed, then self-destructed in proximity. Human ground forces sabotaged their own cities, denying resources, then vanished into subterranean networks. Each system fell, but none fell easily. The Empire advanced and bled. By the 4th month, the war changed. Imperial fleets began encountering new human vessels, clearly rushed into service, clearly experimental. Some burned out after a single battle. But that single battle was devastating. Human tactics shifted constantly. No engagement mirrored the last. Drones, cyber warfare, gravitational traps, weaponized debris fields. Humans turned space itself into a battlefield. Imperial commanders struggled. Their doctrine demanded order. Humans weaponized chaos. Whispers spread through the Galactic Council. They fight like predators, one delegate hissed. No, another corrected quietly. They fight like survivors. Deep within Imperial archives, forbidden records resurface. Ancient conflicts with species that behaved similarly. Relentless. Creative. Refusing extinction. Those species were gone. Except one variable they all lacked. Time. Humanity had learned from every war it ever fought, including this one. The turning point came at Keprigate. An Imperial Grand Fleet, nearly 2,000 warships, moved to cut humanity's core systems off from reinforcement. Human intelligence detected the maneuver weeks in advance. They did nothing. When the fleet arrived, the gate was undefended. No mines, no patrols. Confident, the Imperial Armada advanced. Then the gate collapsed. Human engineers had achieved the impossible, destabilizing hyperspace itself. Hundreds of Imperial ships were caught mid-transition, shredded by dimensional shear. Human fleets emerged inside the catastrophe. What followed wasn't a battle. It was eradication. The Emperor demanded answers. How does a minor species do this? He roared. An ancient advisor replied softly, because they are not minor, Majesty. They are practice. The Emperor toned. They have fought extinction since before they reached the stars. By the end of year 1, the Empire stalled. By year 2, it retreated. Humanity didn't conquer. They dismantled. They didn't rule. They ensured deterrence. Neutral worlds quietly aided them, not out of loyalty, but realization. To fight humanity was dangerous. To fight with humanity was terrifying. The peace treaty was brief. Human sovereignty recognized. Imperial expansion halted. Preemptive extermination outlawed. The Empire signed. For the first time in recorded history, it backed down. Years later, an alien cadet asked a veteran instructor, "Why did the human generals laugh?" The veteran stared at the stars. "Because the Empire thought it was starting a war," he said. "For humanity." He smiled grimly. It was just another fight to stay alive. And those were the fights humanity had never lost.